back. Welcome to Ready Set Blow Podcast. Back with Adam Richmond, the always energetic, always lively, my man.
I feel like I can't be energetic. I got to stay here. The microphone's like, it's got me trapped. Don't get out of here.
Around with you. I move around with it. I don't give a fuck.
My voice also is very powerful. He's just like, listen, put the microphone in. I
know he got professional on you for a second.
No, I'll just make sure.
They have like a Joe Rogan bingo card thing I've seen on the internet, and one of them is make sure that's a fist away from your face. Because that's what he always tells people about the microphone.
I actually now send people like a whole list when I'm producing shows. I send them a list of demands of if they can do it. You know, if you can't do these things, that's totally fine. But send somebody a list like, can I get a microphone with a cord? I mean, that's it. Yeah. I know you're cordless. I know you think it's amazing, but chances are it's going to short or runs out of batteries or it just sucks. It just can't connect.
I love that you don't hate cordless mics. I do too. Yeah, I fucking hate it. One, yeah, you're right. The battery could die. Something go wrong. But two, something about the cord, like just keep it old school. I mean, like a stand with a round bottom, not the tripod stand. Stand with a round bottom, a mic with a cord, and that's all, and a stool. I
also have like stool. You know? I also have 9 jokes where I use the cord as a prop. Either the microphone's a cord, like a penis on my face, or it's a heroin needle.
You're hanging yourself with it or something.
Yeah, on the microphone, I'm cutting up cocaine with it. I'm dropping it as a coconut. It's a spider web. So it's like it's a good prop. That's a good part of comedy, though, is to use everything you have. In your space. Like if you have a good voice, use the voice. If you can dance, you dance. But it's the microphone is there and the stand is there. It's a great prop.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not at all a physical comic. I'm certainly not even as animated as you. And I wouldn't put you up there with like the fucking, you're like a prop comic or, and you're not Cat
Hold
Williams.
on a second. Yeah. Too late, Randy.
You're also not Cat
Did you
Williams.
say not a prop comic? Well, hold on. Have you seen my penis stock?
Well, you're also not Cat Williams where you're fucking the stool for half an hour.
No, that was my first 3 years of comedy. But I definitely still do like good like penis jokes with the microphone. Like,
oh yeah, but I've made a point to like because I'm like I said, I'm lumbering a little stiff, and I was like I gotta be more physical on stage. I gotta do something, and that's why I moved that stupid joke about when you're taking a photo in elementary school. I don't know if you ever seen me do that joke about.
I don't watch your act. So.
Okay, good, thank you. God, that's why he's still a fan of mine. No, but
he takes a joke very well.
Yeah, I just pop up on the stool and act like a second grader taking one of those stupid headshots in school. But I do that
like this.
Yeah, exactly. just to break I feel like one, it was something for me to work on, like in terms of like having a tool in your toolbox as a comedian, but also acting like a 2-year-old making that like a 4th grader making that stupid pose makes me seem less domineering on stage. Because a lot of the shit I say is real foul.
Well, you're also like you come off like you're a dude.
Yeah,
like you come off a big guy. Yeah.
So if I pretend to be a second grader, it kind of breaks that down for people a little bit.
I sometimes I know I'm confident. Worked on the confidence, so I try to make myself look silly.
Yeah.
I'm okay with looking silly to make them feel comfortable. I don't mind. Like I want to feel like a good performer. You're watching me, you're engaged, but if I come off as too like sometimes the voice is too deep for people.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the confidence is too much for people. So when you get silly and you act out things, it kind of like relieves them a little bit.
There is a thing I feel like on stage you could be like being too cool is not cool on stage.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're the cool guy, 100%. No one's gonna find you funny. You know,
you have to be likable, and also again use what you got. It's like if you have something physical to offer. I've told people like new comics, I see where the tag can joke and they're missing it because they're not willing to get physical.
To sell out for it.
I advise them to say, listen, you don't have to be that comic, but this joke has like 3 more minutes on it if you're willing to do something physical, if you're willing to get out of your space, because you have that space. Like it's really boring seeing someone there,
and you'll figure it out too. I feel like the comic will figure it out. Like you can give them that note and they can keep trying it and they'll find what works for them physically. But there is some bits that do, I think, like lend themselves towards physicality. You know what I'm saying?
It's a performance art.
Yeah, really.
Like I tell people, it's not like
I don't think of myself as an artist, but then I'm like, wait, it really is. It really is. It really is. It is a performance.
It's a 100% art.
Well, that's why you call it your act. That's why I tell people like, do you believe that? I was like, it's my act,
and it's a goal oriented.
Yeah,
it's a goal oriented. You have to have results. You have to get laughs from your act, from your performance. If you don't get it, you're not a comedian.
Yeah.
You can go up there and do all sorts of other things. It's not comedy.
Yeah.
So you have that space there. I always tell people, use what you have. Like I said earlier, use what you have, and also if you're entertaining, if your face is entertaining, if you're physically, like, that's important. I see a lot of comedians that shouldn't be on stage, actually. just because you're not interested. Or they say like, I got to go home and write. No, you got to go home and work on your act, man.
Yeah.
This is a performance art. People are watching you. It doesn't matter how well that joke is written. If it's brilliantly written, if it's coming off, you're not acting it out, or you're not into it, you're not engaged by it.
Yeah.
And as more people will know that.
I mean, think about some of the comics, like some of these great comics out there, like. You could read their act, or I could read their act, and it would not land.
It doesn't work.
It would never work.
Stephen Wright's a great example. Those one-liners. Well, that's my comedy act.
But there's other jokes that like Chris Tucker. If I read his act, it wouldn't be funny because his whole persona around it.
But if you could give, like, I choreograph my act.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily like sit there and write it, but on stage I think about it or move my body to certain positions. The joke doesn't work if I don't do certain act outs. That's why one of my albums is called Half These Jokes Don't Work on Paper. Because they don't. I have to have like a penis hanging from my face. I have to have a fall. I have to hurt myself in the joke.
Yeah, but even little things, like I thought about like where to put my hands on certain bits.
I think it's
where to look, like where to let
prop time.
Exactly. Right. When to let your voice trail off versus picking your voice. All shit like that.
Sound the way. Well, you have a deep voice. Yeah. Using your voice, the cadence is important. Yeah. That's a weapon, you're using it for beats. Like good comedy is good jazz.
Yeah.
And just like a good rock, if a rock song was just the chorus, you just be like, pour some sugar on me, and then pour some sugar on me, pour some sugar on me. Is there more?
What a great choice.
Like, I'm hot, stick and sweet,
What a great choice for a chorus to repeat.
I just threw that one out too.
Pour some sugar. Could you imagine how many records do you think they'd sell if they just repeated that one at that cadence?
Yeah. Here, let's do this one. No lyrics, just the chorus. Ready? Thunderstruck. It's just over. Just over and over. Keep yelling thunderstruck over and over. No, but that's why you have beats. It's like, even in a story, a guy goes to the store, comes home. Something's got to happen to him in a movie that makes it a story. So even in your joke, there's got to be some adventure to it.
Some sort of arc.
Yeah, if you push yourself. Well, I did that, the cocaine tester joke I told you before. There's a joke I'm not going to do about the guy who gets hired as the cocaine tester for the FBI, and he goes and he's
number one job in America if you can get it.
He's not sure if it is. Okay, let me try it. I'm not sure, guys. Not sure. He does it again. And I'm not going to do it. But at the end of it, I wrote a joke because I thought there was more, and that the more that was there is now the guy's got a positive. So does The Office have like a little money in the budget where he gets to go do something for the next couple hours? Like, hey, sir, Johnson's got another positive. Looks like we're going to have to go into the stripper budget. And they all go to like the strip bar for a couple hours because Johnson's super high on a Coke because he had a positive. So it was like, I thought of that.
Well, can you keep going with it? Yeah.
And I don't have to do it, but it's sort of.
No, and you'll try it and you'll figure out where the break is. Like, all right, the audience is tired of this had its run.
Well, there's more layers to it. It's like a comedian thinking of another tag to your joke that you didn't think of, and then they tell you, like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, or especially like, oh, fuck, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Fuck, I missed that one. I mean, that was right there.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a joke that you haven't done in years, and then like years later, like, oh, there's the tag. And
or it's better now.
Yeah, and like bring it back.
You're better now.
Oh, that's my entire career. I've written a new joke in like 8 months because I go into my old list of, wait, I can do that joke now, and it works.
Oh, you're ready for it. I felt like that. I learned that in my career that, excuse me, beer, burp. There was jokes I was probably wanted to do and thought I was strong enough, but at 25, I wasn't like almost mature enough to do the same joke now I can do at 45.
Yeah, plus. Or you find something that like oh, this will fit nicely right in here. Like,
but you find your voice.
Yeah,
you had moments of your voice when you were younger. I had moments of I was always loud, but I was like, now I'm very opinionated. I was always opinionated, but there I was going for laughs. Now it's like, I don't mind if you follow me to my point. I'll get to the laughs.
Yeah.
But if I have a point to be made,
there'll be laughs along the way.
Yeah. But I have a point to make.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to this story or this idea.
Yeah. I've been doing terrorist jokes for years.
Oh yeah.
Before Islam's a problem. Just in case we don't. Just before we don't get to it, like just so we know.
Don't worry.
Just for all the lefties out there, like I know you want to every day is like hug a Muslim day, and there's some fantastic. We're gonna get into the fantastic Muslim, but please just know that radical Islam is a problem. So
I've railed on it in the podcast.
Yeah, I have
before.
tons of jokes about terrorism. I do the terrorist carry. I love the voice. But then I was doing them for so long, and I didn't see this one joke that was right there because someone got mad at me and they used the word slam. Like, you're not allowed to slam Islam. And I thought, I really just go, has there ever been a better religion to slam than the one that's got the term I slam in its title?
Yeah.
It's just begging to be made up. Like, I slam, you slam, we all slam Islam. And what's going to happen?
It's also...
By the way, if you don't like that joke, my website's Adam Richmond Comedy.
Yeah, write your congressman about him.
Well, you know what? Let me get into it. So, like, that was the joke I wanted to do tonight. Well, I know we're going to talk about a million things, but it was just like, I'm from Canada originally, so I moved here. I've been here for 20 plus years, and I'm just like,
Are you a U.S. citizen yet, or not?
Not a U.S. citizen, but a green card. So I now have had that for a few years, so I can get my citizenship.
You're not getting on the boat with the rest.
No,
of them.
I've done it all. I want to be here. I'm
well, so do they.
Patriotic.
So the master PSA is going to be started.
I'm more patriotic than most of these Americans. It's embarrassing.
No. I've said it on this podcast. Most foreign-born people that live here, that are residents here, legally and even otherwise, many times, I think believe in the American dream more than natural-born Americans.
100%.
Because natural-born Americans they take it for granted. It's like, I went to Colombia in 2017, and the way they spoke about America, you thought it was paradise. I mean, you literally thought it was heaven on earth. Like, they asked me a question, is it like that? They're like, I'm just saving up my money so I can get over there.
Well, that's what the college
they think the world of America, and then American-born kids are like, this place sucks. Like,
college-educated,
go anywhere else and see how much better this place is.
Yeah, and college-educated kids in this country, I didn't know how much they've been indoctrinated until this last year.
Dude, I went to college. I didn't
until the Hamas thing happened.
Well,
and then you realize that Qatar is paying money, and they really believe. Like when my people get attacked and many murdered, and then the next day the college kids are out lining up pro Hamas. Like, that's when there's a rot in your college system.
I went to Brown, the Ivory Tower, all that shit. And Brown was even then was amongst the most liberal schools in the Ivy League. In the 20 years since I graduated, it's completely. I would never have thought, like, the Brown campus I was on never would have felt sympathy for terrorists.
Yeah, and for all,
you know what I'm saying? Because I was there right after 9/11 happened.
How about America?
Why
would
day
any
in
American
school.
Be okay with terrorism?
But 9/11 happened my fourth day, my freshman year at Brown, and everyone knew that that radical Islam was wrong for what they did that day.
Yeah.
And then October 7th happened a year ago, and all the kids seemed to side with these people. And look, I'm not. No one's saying every Islamist, every Islamic person or Muslim is a problem. I'm saying is that they're radicals. That they're radical, and their militant side is absolutely untenable. Like, they're worse. The Hamas is worse to Gazans than any Israeli ever was. The way that they put their missiles under their schools. They're the ones that kept them. I
love hearing you can say that. I don't have to say it.
Yeah, from having a two-state solution. I mean, Israel offered them 98% of what they wanted. They offered Arafat this
Listen, they don't want to cease
in '98, and they said no.
There's so much to unpack here, and there's so many ways to go. They don't want a ceasefire. They don't want Israel to survive.
Obviously, they broke it on October 7th.
Right, they want all Jews dead, and they want the Western world to be dead. So they're coming for you. If you don't believe that Israel is the first line of defense, you're out of your mind.
It's an ideological conflict, and the problem is that the ruling class in Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank, and frankly most of the Islamic world, aren't progressive enough. They're not
real progress.
Yeah,
not progressive like she pronouns.
Yeah,
progressive like, do you want a real life? Do you want a functional society that has buildings and roads and hospitals and schools
and rights for women?
Yeah, my God, are you guys?
Listen, rights for women and gay people and people of not of your religion.
And before I forget this line, for any college kid who's like on the fence about this stuff, ask yourself this question and be honest. What do you think's going to be better for your future? Radical Islam or Zionism?
Not even
Be
Zionism.
Honest. No, but what Zionism? But
even the most extreme version of Zionism. Yeah,
people are confused with the word Zionism is. It just means that Jewish people have the right to their self-determination.
Well, now it's
homeland.
Now it's a pejorative.
No, they've used it.
Just like now, the river to the sea doesn't mean genocide against all Jews, when actually that's what it means.
It 100% does, especially when they don't know the river and they don't know the sea.
Yeah, okay? That's my favorite.
It's the Jordan River. It's the Mediterranean Sea. You morons. And in between that lies a little country named Israel.
Yeah.
That contributes to the world. All right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, real liberalism would be in support of moderate Muslims, not of this weird terrorist regime that seems to be trolling Palestine right now. And that's the truth. I mean, I feel bad for the women in Gaza because they're the most persecuted. You know, I mean, like, do I mean, you're not allowed to show your fucking face, man.
These are 22 failed Arab nations. What do you mean? The other
yeah. Oh, I'm not cutting them any slack.
What was Afghanistan? Now the women.
I mean, Iran.
There's a new rule in Afghanistan. They weren't repressed enough. Now in Afghanistan, they're not allowed to talk to each other.
Yeah.
There's no words allowed to come out from their fully
covered
hijab.
But what I love is that they're like, oh, you know, that's women's empowerment. They chose that. No, they
chose that.
They chose that because their husband would beat them to death if they didn't.
Women. Women, you would like the women siding with radical Islam are for the gays siding with Islam. You guys are like you're really the dumbest people in the world. If you're gay and you're pro-Islam, you really
dude, you're like this.
You're really like a full new world of stupidity.
I saw on I won't name the comic, but I saw when this is literally like 2 weeks after Israel got attacked on October 6th or 7th, 6th or 7th. They
burn it in your brain, people.
this comic, who is very liberal, was saying like, people are saying, how could gay people support the Palestinians? They'd throw them off the roofs. There are no roofs left to throw them off. They bombed all the buildings. And I'm like, wait a minute. Your defense is there's no roofs.
There's
left.
No roofs.
So you're saying you're not denying that they would do this. You're just saying it's sad because they have no more roofs to throw Jews and queer people off of. It's like I don't get that. I mean, like it's one of those things like small L liberalism. Like to be able to liberally live your life, is a Western value that I thought we all shared. But apparently, if you have it so good in America, you can say it's okay for other people not to have it.
Well, what's happened is this, with this DEI stuff, and I knew it was happening, Randy. My political stance has remained the same for a long time. I've now had people. This election changed. This election was decided by people that were willing to move their stance, that weren't grounded in, that weren't like a hardcore
I think the
liberal.
goalposts moved, and
they moved.
The goalposts moved.
If you can be a liberal, you can be a normal liberal. You can.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You can hate Donald Trump.
I'm a Bill Clinton liberal.
You can hate. You can even hate
I'm a normal.
Jewish people. But if you don't see that your party has been hijacked by the extreme left, who are a beacon of bad fucking ideas. Then you're out of your mind.
All right, we're on the soapbox today.
No, but that's what it is. Because I was going to get back to the open borders. Like as a kid, you know how hard it was for me to come here and work here. I had to prove that I had
my
merit.
father from the Dominican Republic.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean
but he did it right.
He's most directly impacted by the.
He did it right.
He's a union guy working pushing a broom out in New York. Like
right. So, but to see that and then to watch them, then you're just going to let people in and not vouch for them, not do background checks. Go, no, I love America. I'm not going to blow shit up. No way. Snicker. Joe Biden, he's a great president. I have his sign in my lawn. Snicker. Okay, it's not my lawn. It's your lawn. But snicker. And I love women. We totally respect women in the Middle East. Yes. Kamala Harris, absolutely, I respect her. She could be like my number one camel. I call her Camel A. Snicker.
No, it's one of those things that they completely lost sight of, and the problem is it's the narrative behind it. They want to. It's a fake show of righteousness. Oh, look, we're good because we won't say anything bad about people of the Muslim faith, or not even the people of the Muslim faith. The beliefs that drive them. The people of the Muslim faith are fine. It's the beliefs that drive them that are the problem. And we can't say anything bad about that, or else we're racist. And it's like, well, listen. First of all, saying you disagree with Islam can't be racist because most Islamic people are actually from the fucking Philippines. Like, there's more Muslims in Southeast Asia than there are in the desert, in fucking Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East. Like,
is that true numbers wise?
That is absolutely true numbers wise. Right. So to say it's,
but there's 1.8 billion Muslims.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, Albanians are Muslims and they're white.
By the way, 1.8 billion Muslims have a problem with 15 million Jews. So,
no.
What's up, Muslims? What's going on with the numbers game?
I disagree with that. I bet it's more like 10% of them have a problem, and the other 90% are held hostage by them.
I'd say it's higher than that. I would say
what I'm saying?
I would say it's 25%.
Yeah, well, either way, it's alarmingly high.
Right.
But
25%, it was originally the number was 1.3 billion. Now it's 1.8. But 25% of 1.3 billion is the population of the United States of America. Yeah. They could drop one terrorist on each individual American and take out this country.
drop them as bombs.
Yeah. I wrote a show.
How funny would that be?
I wrote a show
the suicide bombing mission of all time to drop 350 million Muslims on top of America.
Well, I wrote a
one
cartoon
by one.
Years ago called The
Martyrs.
Prez. It was about a black female president.
Heaven's about to get real crowded.
Which one?
Heaven will get real crowded if they drop 350 million martyrs on us.
No, but they have to land on each person.
The accuracy.
Hey, it's like raining.
It's raining Muslims.
It's raining Muslims. Hallelujah, it's rain. So I had a show years ago called The Prez, an animated show we were writing about a black female, very voluptuous, saucy president of the United States of America.
Wow, you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I wasn't ahead of the curve. And then whatever. It's still in the mix. But there's one episode called Operation Parachute where the American prison system was being too overwhelmed by foreign nationals that have been arrested. They can't sustain it. So what they want to do is let every country bring back their criminals, but they refuse to do it. Like they call the leader of China. He's like, no, not taking it. Yeah. Does it say made in China? Does it say made? If it says made in China, bring it back. Don't say made in China. He hangs up the phone. So they don't want to take it back. So they have a thing called Operation Parachute, where they're going to fly all the terrorists over their country and drop them in duct tape in a parachute over their shitty country and make them take it back. And I feel like we're getting to that point.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting because, look, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump per se, but he did win fair and square, and obviously the country shifted in his direction. I'm interested to see.
So when you say you're not a fan of his, I'm curious. Do you not like him as a person, or do you what about his policies? What about the things?
Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Him as a person, I think he's a megalomaniac, and he's kind of a buffoon. I mean, like,
don't we want a megalomaniac in charge rather than?
I mean, look,
you think Kamala Harris was capable?
Make no mistake. Any politician you put in that seat. In the president, if you
want
to be a president, you're a megalomaniac.
Yeah, you have to be that. You have to be that way. For sure.
I mean, think about the ego it takes to think. You know what? I want to be the most powerful person in the world these next 4 years.
Yeah, I just feel like I've had conversations. I moved here with no political agenda.
I still have no political agenda.
But let me explain. So when I was 16 years old, I'm Jewish, so I've always mentioned that. When I was 16 years old, my sister was on a trip to Israel, and a girl from Toronto, where I'm originally from, was killed on a beach on Tel Aviv. She blew up. Known terrorist, and it was a huge thing for the Jewish community when we were 19.
Was this the first Intifada when they were going?
It was around. I mean, it was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, that was the first Intifada.
Okay,
so those that don't recall, the Intifada was when they're using that now as a slogan.
Yeah.
That was when
Intifada, holy war. What is it?
Yeah, one of the Ayatollahs called for holy war to exterminate the Jews.
Yeah, rise up and slaughter the Jews. But keep using that, guys. Keep using it. We don't see you. Yeah. We're not powerful enough.
Words don't mean anything anymore. Yeah. Words aren't violence.
Yeah. Last time
according to you guys, words are violence, but now they're not.
And last time you did this, we didn't have an army. Now we have the most powerful army in the world. So keep fucking around. So that happened. So obviously I knew about radical Islam at a young age. I even knew before that. That's a problem. Moved to America 20 years ago, right before September 11th.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. It's good timing.
Yeah, that September 11th
I think every time you show up, it's a fucking terrorist attack. Yeah. I think it's linked to Adam.
Something to do with me. Well, the only bombing we're going to do is on stage.
Yeah, the only bombing you participate in.
So September 11th happened, and I'm like, yeah, guys, you see? Like, radical Islam's a problem.
Yeah.
And all these people in America were like, hey, wait a second, they're not all bad. Can we just hug a Muslim today? I was like, can you give us 5 minutes to call out our enemy before we start singing Kumbaya?
Also, that's a very obvious fucking thing to say. Like,
obviously,
a Puerto Rican guy kills some other guy. Do we say all Puerto Ricans are killers? Obviously not.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous. It's a no.
But this was my first perception.
You should have to start with that statement.
But this was my first insight into living to the United States. Yeah. It was the timing was crazy, So obviously, I'm now seeing America at the beginning deal with how they resolve this problem.
Yeah.
Or how they
and we responded in force.
Well, you can argue that's a whole other conversation. I didn't even want to get. That's a whole other conversation. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. No, finish your point. Yeah.
My point was that all the people that were like, "Can't we just all hug them out?" Like we're all Democrats. So my first thing that I said to myself, well, I'm not really a Democrat. So my first political stance was not Democrat.
And that's hard to say coming from Canada.
Well, that doesn't mean, but I was from what do you mean? Toronto, Canada, Ontario is very socialist. I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't like it.
For Canadians to come here.
No way. I don't want the government to take from my family that works hard to give to these people that are doing nothing. So I don't like that. Okay. So that's a big problem with Canada as a socialist country. So I saw the people do that. And then, now we're 20 years later. We're fighting against Hamas. There's many things that happened in between, including like the Boston Marathon bombing or the killing and the
radicalized online. Those are American Muslims radicalized online. Scary.
Yeah, and then October 7th happened. And the next thing you know, there's people marching in the streets for Hamas.
Well, what was crazy about that was when Israel hadn't even retaliated yet.
And
they were already saying that Israel's an occupier, this, that, and the third. And it's like, guys. I said it this
Do
way.
people know history though? Do you know what a genocide? A genocide is going
that
after a particular group of people and trying to annihilate them.
Shredded.
And if anything, Jewish people are being genocided out of the Middle Eastern countries. Yes. Why is there 0% of Jewish people in all the Muslim countries? Well, Israel itself is 20 to 25% Arab. How come? But if you're going to be intellectually honest, or not intellectually dishonest,
people don't realize that. I know this fact. People are like, all the Eastern European Jews came over and stole land from the Palestinians. No, most of the Jews in Israel were expelled from all the neighboring Islamic countries. Something like 500,000 were thrown out of Egypt. A bunch were thrown out of
if you go back
Iran.
3,000 years and any artifacts, stuff discovered by archaeologists, they have Hebrew written on it. That says something about whose land it was.
There was always.
If anything, the Jews and Israelis should be recognized for being the only country that decolonized themselves. They took their country.
They went back home.
Yeah, they went back home, but everyone has a problem with that because they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm pro. You can be a good. Listen, here's the world. Okay,
it's morality, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, everything was fine on October 6th, and they're like, we need a ceasefire now. There was one on the 6th. Then they marched over and killed 1,200 people
innocently. It's not about a ceasefire. It's not about a ceasefire. If you allow me one minute to do something. So I'm trying to, I tell this to people now. I've been trying to get over this. Like I take weekends off the social media now because I just can't do it. I'm pretty angry about the Jewish thing. I'm trying to live my life. Well, my life's good, but I'm trying to
that's something very personal to you. I mean, of course which I get, which I totally get.
And then there's something every day but I got to kind of take some.
Well, and you're also living in the fucking lion's mouth here in LA. I mean, this is
right, but
this is ground zero for terrorist sympathists.
There's surprisingly more conservatives here than you think because
I know that.
The state's
I'm surrounded by it. Yeah. Most of my friends.
But the other ones are kind of batshit crazy. I can never really have a good answer. Never really have a good argument with them. Ask them why, what you're supporting. If you ask a liberal who's marching with Hamas, what they're supporting, they can't give you an answer. They don't know. So that's ridiculous.
And that's the most troubling part is the lack of perspective and knowledge. Yeah. And like I said, you can disagree with the way Israel's prosecuting the war, but you can't disagree with the fact that...
Hold on. You shouldn't disagree with how they're doing it.
They're
the most moral army in history.
I know. But you can make arguments, but you can't say they don't have the right to.
You can't say 40,000 people are getting all babies.
That's
okay, hold on. There's a difference between collateral damage in spoils of war.
Yes, no, I agree with that.
Of children dying because there's a bomb because you refuse to move your family out of an area. There's a difference between a child dying there than walking into an empty room that only has a crib and you with your AK-47 opens fires and kills a baby in the crib. There's quite a difference.
Yes,
so if you notice that I'm a little upset about that, there's a difference morally. And the Israeli army is killing people at like a 2-to-1 clip, and every war was like a 9-to-1 clip. You don't think innocent Germans got killed? That's
my point. To the asymmetry morally is undeniable. In that, yes, Israel. If the shoe were on the other foot,
how about you don't hide in libraries and schools
about this.
and hospitals?
Think about this though, Adam. If the shoe were on the other foot, if Gaza had the military and the power that Israel had, and the Israelis were in Gaza, would they waste 1 minute not wiping them off the face of the earth?
No, of course not.
Yeah, right.
We know the answer to that question.
Right, of course.
Israel can wipe them off right now.
Yeah, that's it. But then after having 1,200 of their citizens killed, 200 captured, Israel is still trying not to kill civilians as they destroy Hamas.
Yeah.
Right? It would not happen the other way around.
They're amazingly moral army.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. It's like, morally, no one wants war, but obviously Hamas is morally bankrupt and Israel isn't.
Netanyahu should win a Nobel Peace Prize for what he's been doing. Okay. Well, listen, that's my stance.
Obama won one and he droned the shit out of people.
Listen, what I want to do is same with my show, The Prez, is turn Gaza into a functional Vegas type atmosphere.
It should have
been casinos, hotels, pools. Call it Vegaza.
Dude, it really should be. I went to Beirut before that bomb blew up. That port blew up in like 2017, 2018. It was beautiful. I was like, this should be. I mean, why isn't this like the French Riviera? Yeah. I mean, Gaza should really
Everything radical Islam touches turns to shit. And if you don't agree with me, you're an idiot on that stance. As I said, radical Islam. I got many Islamic friends, many Middle Eastern friends.
Anything, dude.
By the way, any Iranian friend, any Iranians,
Iranians
Jewish or not Jewish, living in America, will be the first to tell you that Iran's a problem. Okay,
they fled. Yeah, that's why they're all living here.
If you just give me
that's why half of LA is fucking Persian.
If you give me 1 minute, I just want to tell you this is kind of what I had to to like explain it to people, like just in layman's terms to people that don't get it. I would go just to, I'll try and make this quick. So here's the world. All right. You're allowed to it. You can do whatever the fuck you want on this world. Definitely some people were given better opportunities than others and some were not. I also know many people that came from very quality, privileged lifestyle and were given opportunity and did absolutely nothing.
Hunter Biden.
Right? That's a good example.
He fucking threw his life away.
How about they also, before I moved to Los Angeles, everyone said Mexicans were lazy. Let me tell you this. Mexicans are not
They're the hardest working people I know.
Hardest working people. They might not be as ambitious to be the CEO of the company, but they...
Well, you got to start somewhere. The Irish
are
trying to be CEO.
Because they want to have enough money to take care of their family, love their wife, pay for the children, and have some beers and hang out with their friends, enjoy their fucking lives. Yeah. I respect it. Our gardener, that guy's dominating. He has a whole business up in the hills where he's doing amazing things. And he started a business from nothing. Oprah Winfrey came from nothing and did something. So you can be that person. But what you're not allowed to do is if you're not willing to work for it and everybody else is willing to work for it, and someone gets it and your neighbor does more than you do, you're not allowed to then hate your neighbor and be like, oh, I'm pissed off that he's got more than I do. All right, you can do it too. So if he did it, don't be. And then what else you're not allowed to do is then if your neighbor's doing better than you, you're then not allowed to put a suicide vest on your chest or build a tunnel underneath the homes or shoot a missile over and kill your neighbor because they're doing better. You're just not allowed to do that. And then even further, if people are doing that, and after years, this house is still standing, and this one is struggling. And then people are just like, oh, well, we got to help the struggling house because these poor people. And then you send money over to them. And instead of investing in themselves and building their home to be better, they then build tunnels underneath their homes bigger than the London subway system and get missiles to then shoot their neighbors. Obviously, my analogy turned to Israel. Yeah. But now the Western world, for the amount of money they've given to them, for what they've done, doing nothing with that money, they should be embarrassed. There's no humility. You should be embarrassed by how much money you've given. And then it's everybody's problem. It's not just Israel's problem. This is why America supports Israel, because it's the first line of defense against that area. And if they go, then this is their goal to eventually take over the Western world.
And that's
London's gone, Sweden's gone, France is gone, Belgium's gone, Germany's gone. Do we want this to happen?
And this is my point where I was saying earlier, where most of the moderate Muslims living in those areas are the ones first impacted. All this aid that we gave them were stolen so they can start a terrorist war instead of actually helping the people that need it. Those people should throw their own government out. Right?
Israel gave 100 trucks went in the other day. 98 were taken apart.
Well, that's
got in there. And it's Israel's fault for them taking it.
And that's my point.
And the politics, by the way, then the guy in the media is being interviewed. It's like, well, people attacked the truck. The guy's like, what people attacked the truck as well? We don't know exactly. Yeah. You don't know who attacked the truck.
These people are being oppressed by their own regimes, and they need to be toppled.
It's Hamas, not hummus. They're totally different.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Ultimately, if they're removed, I think the Islamic world has been doing a favor. At large. If you get rid of these regimes, the Hamas.
Kudos to Saudi Arabia for not being. Saudi Arabia since September 11th.
Wow. You know what? They
want peace. They're after it.
They're on our side.
Part of what Iran did was trying to destabilize the normalization of a peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia.
The war in the Middle East is really a war between Saudi Arabia and Iran that everyone else is in the middle of, the Sunnis and the Shias.
Right, but Iran's the sleeping giant. We want them on our side. But what they want is a stable world. They've had enough of living in the dark ages.
Oh, yeah, Saudi Arabia came around.
Same with
they saw the wealth of the Western nations and we want a piece of that.
Same with the UAE, United Arab Emirates.
You go to Riyadh, you can find a McDonald's.
Yeah. Dubai, they don't want that.
Yeah, they're like, all right, let's cut the shit.
Lebanon used to be a beautiful place in the 60s. They've ruined it.
I know. Iran in the 70s was fucking gorgeous. You ever see the women in Iran in the 70s, man? They were fucking hot.
And I run to catch up with the sun and it's sinking. I just like doing the terrorist voice, right? Like terrorist karaoke, and then I saw her face. But that was illegal. We're gonna rock down to Iraqi Avenue, and then we'll start a fire. Oh no! Dude, oh no, Randy's a great laugher.
How much would it suck, dude, to be going through puberty as a man in a Sharia law driven society? Dude, could you imagine?
What about these women? There's a girl that was beaten senseless
Oh,
and
yeah.
murdered because
Listen.
she like someone said she spilt water on the Quran, which she didn't do, or something like that. Like, these are people ridiculous. These fucking
Yeah, no. Oh, look, everyone knows we feel bad for the women, but let's feel bad for the young Iraqi boy who can't see any titties. You know, like or the young Afghan kid who can't get his hands on a Playboy. You know, like how's he beaten off?
Wouldn't that be
with
a great
sand?
Wouldn't
Like,
it be so great if like
what is he doing?
Yeah, they're so repressed except for the tits. Like they're covered. Their whole body's covered except boobies just hanging out. Like some like double D's, like no face. Just like that's their. No, we changed our rule here. We just since we love titties so much, we're like you cover your face, you cover your feet and your hands, your eyes for sure. Don't look at me at all. But if you could just.
Yeah, they got a little flap. They just pull up, pull down.
This podcast is sponsored by Sharia law. Does your wife ever talk back to you? Does she ever walk less than 10 feet behind you? Has one lock of her hair ever escaped from her hijab? Well, then you have a right to a case. Call Sharia lawyers. Call Muhammad, and Muhammad at 1-800. We'll chop our prices. We'll chop off her head. It's funny because it's true. Someone's gonna be like, "Is there a number for Sharia lawyers?"
Someone's gonna complain, but I don't give a shit.
Dude, I love when you complain. If you're gonna complain, my website's Adam Richmond.
I know,
Comedy.
but also we all have opinions. We're not hurting anybody. We're talking shit.
Dude,
Fuck off.
comedy.
Like, fucking grow up. Like people need to get a life a little bit. It's like. You know,
I said, "What do people?"
Honestly, I think it's waned a lot since 2 years ago.
It's gonna wane. Well, it's definitely quiet down.
Yeah.
But I also talk about. I go after like, what happens when you're not allowed to offend people? What if I don't like you and want to offend you? It's not illegal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
you're offended? Fuck yeah.
Also, there's a phrase I heard. It's I've never given offense. You've just taken offense.
Oh no! Just because you took offense to me, it doesn't mean I was being offensive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
doesn't mean I meant it to be.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like,
but it's when people get offended for somebody
if
else.
I agreed with everything everyone said, I'd be bored to fucking tears.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that I don't agree with you is one of the reasons why I enjoy talking to you.
I live in West Hollywood, as do you.
Yeah.
We there's tons of gays.
Yeah.
I love gay jokes.
Oh, the best.
You know who loves the gay jokes? The gays.
Oh yeah.
You know who doesn't? People are sad for the gays because I'll tell you what. If you can take it up the ass, you can take a joke.
Dude, it's true.
Honestly, what's more painful?
I know. I've said
Sorry,
it.
Randy. We'll find out after, won't we, Randy?
Yeah. Spit on it first.
Don't look me in the eyes, Randy. Just don't look me in the eyes. Shut up. Why are you looking? Stop smiling.
Yeah, dude. It's one of those things, man. Like, I feel like, and that's the thing I feel like men do well. Like, the more you can break each other's balls as guys, the closer you are. And I think the world needs to learn this. Like, I'm pulling your leg.
Shame and embarrassing. Like we used to do that to each other.
Yeah.
I said my bit is about making fun of transgender people. Like, because I live in West Hollywood. And like, why can't we make fun of them? Like, if I had a buddy, if we grew up as guys, we grew up with each other. My friend's too fat, we call him Fatty. This guy's too skinny, we call him Bones. But my buddy Randy is now cutting off his dick and calling himself Randy.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm not allowed to make fun of him. Like that's that's the line.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of weird because if we did that, I guess it's more sensitive now. But if we did that when we were 15, our buddy was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go cough."
Well, that's the thing. The rule with guys is, at least when I was growing up, is the closer you were, the more mean you could be to each other.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was your best friend, I could make fun of your dead mother. Yeah. You know, but if I didn't know you and I'm making fun of your dead mother, it's like, hey, man, what the fuck's your problem?
Randy, I've lived by this adage for so long. The way to treat people equally is to make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Especially when you're close. Like you don't walk up on stage and go, "Look at you, ugly." You know?
Yeah, no, I get it. And it's one of those things.
I judge people on their looks, though. I'll be honest.
Do you? You don't judge people on their looks.
No, I just know a certain type nowadays. I'm not even going to get into it, but I just know when there's going to be a certain type. Not saying there's a lot of damaged people that are good looking. You have to work on yourself. If you're not, the world hasn't treated you well, find a way to work on yourself, period, no matter what. I just know nowadays there's always just a certain type.
A type's going to have a problem with the way you roll?
Sort of.
Okay. Yeah. Let me guess. It's a young, well-educated white woman.
Yeah, maybe with blue hair and a nose ring.
Who's more angry than the victim, than the quote-unquote victim you're punching down on in your jokes.
These people shaving their heads and swearing off men, you know?
It's one of those.
That's really, by the way, that's really nice to cancer victims and people with alopecia. So keep doing that.
No, but also, because, you want to be accepting. But now any guy is an asshole. It's like, what if I didn't vote for Trump? What if I didn't? Like, I'm swearing off men. You know, we're not dating, no sex, no hooking up, no this, no babies. I'm punishing all men for what some men did.
Good, perfect. Then they won't need abortions.
I didn't think they needed
Listen,
him. I didn't think they needed him before anyway.
If you didn't
no
like
one's having
this,
sex with him before anyway.
my Instagram is Adam Richmond Comedy. If you,
no, but it's like
it's comedy night, not take shit seriously evening.
I know, but it's like how is that open minded, right? Like think about it, like I think. Fucking next week is Thanksgiving. We're shooting this is Sunday before Thanksgiving. Next week's Thanksgiving, and there are people out there. There some psychologist went on MSNBC and it's like it's okay not to go see your family for the holidays if they voted, in a way you didn't like. And it's like, so wait a minute, you're having people cancel their families because they voted the way they didn't like. Like what happened to being accepting and open to other people
or having a dialogue with people?
What do you want other people to sit on a different side of the bus than you too? Because that sounds a little fucking racist. Like it's very bigoted the way they're behaving about it. Because I don't like your ideas. I get to shame you. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, well, listen, it's the exact opposite of what they pretend to be.
Considering they're marching on the streets saying "Death to Zionists," like nothing really surprises me anymore.
Just the hypocrisy of it. Like you can't see past your own nose.
I do think that you have to get to a point if sometimes it's more than politics. Like when someone is
right and wrong.
Just fundamentally different. I do think there's right and wrong. Yes, but there's certain people like. Are walking that line for me, and I can't. It's tough to be friends with them when I see them making stupid.
Yeah, decisions. But to be friends with them, but you don't absolutely cut them out of your life and you'll be polite to them when you see them. Hey, how you doing?
Well, there's a few lefty Californians.
I'm sure you buy your coffee every morning from some leftist, and you're like, oh, thanks for the coffee, and you just fucking walk out. Like the interaction's fine.
Actually, people talk to me that are leftists. I'm so nice to them. They have no idea that I'm more.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a normal interaction. But to completely fucking separate yourself from these people, it's like it feels very segregation-y, and I don't like it. You gotta hang out with people that are different than you. And that means ideologically as well. You can't just hang around your own fucking kind ideologically. Like it stunts your growth as a human. And it's also rude to other people. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's disrespectful in my mind.
It's hard to be friends with people that kind of.
You don't have to be friends,
but they don't.
You don't have to weave them out. You don't get to say, I'm never seeing another Democrat
right, but it comes from the other side, though.
It's coming more from the other side. That's my point. It's coming more from the other side.
So we have to make those choices sometimes because people are being rude to you as a result of your political stance, and then they make that choice, and as a result, you're more defensive and have to be like, I'm not going to.
No, and that's my point. I feel like the left is less open minded than they pretend to be, and they are doing things that are the direct antithesis of what they're preaching.
Oh, they say they're open-minded, accepting,
and they're not.
And as soon as you don't agree with them, they're not open-minded. They don't accept you. They don't tolerate you.
Yeah, and that's my exact point. They seem to have somehow cornered the market of we're open-minded and liberal, but we're shunning all this whole group. Half the country is fucked. It's like that is way more exclusionary than anything I've heard of, because it's just an idea. And also, most people I feel like have very similar values. We might have different policy thoughts on how to get there, but I think most people in this country have very similar values. We just we want a job, we want to be left to our own devices, we want to have a family, a house, be happy. And that's fucking it.
There's so many left-wing jumping off points to me nowadays that just like if I were to just ask you how far it's gone, like there's certain normal things I get. Like I'm absolutely pro-choice, all right? Pro-woman's life to do whatever the fuck they want. But if I have a list of things, I don't get everything I want politically. So if I have to sacrifice certain things, it's not on my top 10. It's on my list of things I want. But I don't get, if I get 60 to 70% of the things I want politically, that's a good enough. That's a good number.
But dude, I love it you said that, Adam, because that's the rational way to think about it. And that's where I think most people are in this country.
No, they want 100%.
No.
They don't want to sacrifice anything.
The hard lines on both sides want 100%. It's true.
But the hard line's not a border. The hard line's not an open border.
No, but that's my point. You'll agree with this statement, right? I'm sure you believe that pollution and polluting the earth is a problem, right? It's not good, right?
Yeah, pollution.
Yeah. Is it one of your top 10 problems? Maybe not.
But pollution to me is above global warming.
But it's one of the same to me.
I know
it's one of the,
right. But what we put out there is different.
But you agree that it's a thing.
Yes.
You're just saying it's not 1, 2, or 3.
No.
Well, that's my point. Like
it's not even 7, 8, or 9.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. But what I can't deal with is when someone says it's a hoax. This is untrue. It's like, all right. Don't say there's not a problem. Don't say throwing trash in the ocean isn't a problem. It's a problem. It might not be top 10, but don't say it's not real. Just like when you look to the left and they say, transgender people should have rights. Absolutely, they should. Men and women are there's no difference between men and women. Like, now you're wrong.
Yeah.
You went too far.
That's top 5. I'm top 5 with that one.
You had me with the first statement, and then you went fucking crazy with the second. You said, hey, pollution's not important to me. Okay. climate change isn't real. Now I know you're crazy.
Men should play professional sports against women. No, you got
that
me
one.
on
That one's crazy. I love. You know what's
Can't
crazy?
even believe
You know what's crazy? About
Honestly,
this?
can I just say I can't even believe there's a discussion about it, guys.
What's crazy? What's crazy is that like women are like are supposedly. So the left has invented something called the protected class.
Yeah, you're for women's rights, and you're okay with a man.
That's
playing in
exactly the
sports.
hypocrisy of that.
Unbelievable.
I'm pro woman, and then you have a guy go in there and punch a lady in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The Algerian boxer faked it. Did you hear that story? That guy faked it. Was found out to be biologically male. And everyone's like, he said he was like, you all fell for it. And then he beat the shit out of a woman.
I hate to laugh. Because I don't want to laugh at a woman getting hit by a man. But
no, I'm laughing at the absurdity of it.
Yes, we're pro woman. Now send that guy in there to kick the shit out of her. It's like, what the fuck? That's fucking wrong, dude. Yeah. But also, you know what my problem with it is, and this is like schoolyard shit. You go to any kindergarten fucking schoolyard, and you get 5-year-old kids, and you put fucking Shaq next to whoever Leslie, whatever famous basketball player is, like should they play 1-on-1? Is that fair? They'd be like, no. Yeah,
it's not fair.
No, it's just not fair. Like she can be a woman in the world that we live in, and we could dress her as a woman. But to say that it's fair for a trans woman to play a natural woman is not true.
Ridiculous.
It's just not. And sports are about fair. That's the thing about sports. It's about fairness. We want to know that everyone
and being competitive.
Yes, that's part of fairness. That's why I didn't have a problem with when everyone was taking steroids in baseball. Then it was fair.
And there was
but if some are taking, some aren't, then it's not fair.
In the 90s, there was a girl named Manon Rhéaume who said she could play NHL goalie. And so the NHL gave her a chance to see if she could play with the boys. And they put her in a minor league game or a preseason game.
Fucking shelled.
12 goals she gave up.
Shelled.
She gave up 12-1 or something. She lost. And then there's a women's league and they're all great. It's great. I enjoy watching like women play against women. I enjoy what's competitive.
Because it's competitive.
Yeah, but if you put them in like with the men, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's just a strength thing. It's just we're born with male muscle tissue. When my girlfriend tells me how smart and powerful she is more than me, I was like, okay, good luck with that. And then I just push her out of the way.
But they also
with one finger. All
right.
Also,
like this idea that they have to be equal to us in everything. We're not equal in giving birth. Only they can do that.
100%.
Where the fuck is where's our sympathy?
Oh, I got a good one for you.
Yeah.
I stumped the shit out of somebody recently. When they were like. We're talking about women's rights. First of all, you're not losing your rights. The rights of they're going to take over your body. The government has control over your body. The government only controls women's bodies. They never control men's bodies. Oh yeah, they don't control men's bodies. How about the draft?
How about my foreskin? Where the fuck is that?
But the draft.
I didn't make that decision.
What about forcing men to go to war?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't done that in many years. What about Vietnam?
Well, it might be coming.
Right, but that's what I mean. But they were like, you're talking about being forced your body. They died. Tens of thousands of men died in World War II.
Ask your grandfather, or you can't. He's dead.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a thing when they say the government has no control. They do when they could just make that order and you're fucked. Like we just can we? I like how you say your penis first.
Yeah, can we just make it make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about just make it make sense. That's all my politics.
But that's why liberalism doesn't make sense. I like the idea. There's normal
they
liberal
went,
people.
They went crazy,
Randy. They went too far.
That's what I'm saying.
why people don't understand.
Like I said, I'm a Bill Clinton liberal, which is extinct. It's not.
Bill Clinton had many times talked about.
He was a fucking pro-crime guy.
Bill Clinton had a
tough on crime guy.
Bill Clinton talked many times about how he offered Yasser Arafat the rights.
They offered him 98%, and he said no.
No.
Yeah, the Camp David Accords fell apart. They gave him 98% of the land he wanted. He said no. I mean, can you get 98% of anything you want in life? I haven't gotten 98% of shit.
We fight with these people and we treat them like little babies because they can't handle themselves. They're not acting like adults as far as stepping up to the plate and talking realistically about how you solve this.
Dude, not even as far back as Bill. Fucking Obama deported twice as many people as Donald Trump. He fucking, I mean, if Donald Trump's mass deportations are as successful as Barack Obama's,
why don't people
he should be so lucky.
Like, why won't
9 million people he deported over 8 years.
Why won't people admit that? Like what?
It's a stat they don't want to look up.
Yeah, because he's a shill. That guy. He was a bad.
No, well, they don't want to admit that the hypocrisy of their own side. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. I mean, everyone wants to be right more than they want to get something done. Which it's like everyone they're out to cut their nose off to spite their face.
I have another analogy. I didn't want to beat this baby to death, but
let's.
I just want to get just
like
an
a Hamas
analogy.
terrorist.
We'll just be talking about Israel. No, I want people to just really understand that don't get it. Like, and I forced this analogy on somebody recently. Let's say you're walking down the street in like a nice area, and you come to a house and you see a guy and he's got his foot on the head of this guy who's trying to get up and get into his house, and it looks bad. And you're it's the first time you've been to that neighborhood, and then you look to the guy and you're like, "Hey man, what are you doing? Get your foot off the guy's head. What are you doing? Get your foot off the guy." And the guy's like, "Listen. I know it looks bad to you right now. I know you're just coming here to see this for the first time, but I promise you, this guy said to me, if I let him up, he's going to kill my entire family. All right, he's going to kill me and my family." And then you'd be like, "No, what are you doing, man? You got to get your foot off his head. I can't believe you get your foot off the head. What are you doing? Get your foot off." And you're like, "Listen, I know this is new to you. You're new to this argument. I promise you, if I take my foot off this guy's head, he's going to kill my entire family."
Yeah.
So then you gather all your friends and all the neighborhood. You get together. You go, "Look what this guy's doing. Can you believe that?" And everyone comes together, and you all saw, you petition and you protest and you say, "Get this foot off." The guy's like, "Fine." After so much pushback, he finally is pressured and he releases his foot off the guy's head. And the guy gets up and kills his entire family.
Yeah.
Were you right?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You weren't right. Okay? You weren't right. But that's what people are doing right now because they can't see the big picture.
Yeah.
So they know. So now imagine.
Well, it's also armchair quarterbacking too, because we're way over here.
Of course.
You know,
But
if,
now
like I said,
imagine
if Mexico had sent 10 guys over here and they killed 3 Americans,
or proportionally, it was
the
tens of thousands.
shitstorm we would rain down upon them.
Yeah, they attacked San Diego.
If a cartel sent 100 hitmen into Corpus Christi and just killed indiscriminately, I mean, Mexico City would be speaking English in 6 weeks. Yeah.
Now
it would be over.
Now, with this analogy I gave you, imagine this guy whose life has just been turned upside down and his family's dead. Imagine somehow he figured out how to get his life back, you know?
Yeah.
And years later, he gets his job back, gets his life back. He's in control again, finds another woman, falls in love. They get pregnant, have a baby, has a family. One day gets a knock on his door. "We're here to kill your entire family." What's your advice to him at that point?
Kill the fuck.
Yes,
yeah, kill the guy.
That's it. Kill him. That's it. So I'm sorry that sounds harsh, but that's where Israel's at for everybody. That analogy was Israel.
They really walked in the front door and shot him. I mean, like this.
No, of course, but
this is a reality.
They tell you what they're going to do. They say they're not making any mistakes. It's not about Israel. It's not about the land. It's about Jews in the world. They're trying to get rid the entire world of Jews. So you don't see that. Now, what should we do? So we should now just wait. You want us to have a ceasefire so they can come and do that again and wait.
Well, that's why they called for a ceasefire after they kicked off the war.
Yeah.
No,
we want to see now. We want it. Come on. We want a ceasefire now. We were just kidding.
One day after they killed 1,200 Jews, like, hey, can we have a ceasefire?
We were just kidding. We didn't mean it. I met her in a hut down in old Kabul. Well, she smelled like curdy and it made me drool. Her name was Islmaic. I'm not dumb, but I can't understand why she walks like a camel, talks like Saddam. Oh my Islmaic. If you like that,
how long does that song go on?
I think
how many verses you got?
I should really modernize it with new songs. You know?
I've seen your act. He's got a lot more. He's got a lot of musical stuff. I didn't know you're such a musical guy.
I was inspired by music to become a comedian.
Really?
Yeah, it was rock and roll. Grateful Dead a little bit.
I feel like all comics want to be musicians.
Well, that's what it is.
I mean, I feel like the only
I just
comic
don't have any musical talents.
I'm a big, I'm in awe of music, and I'm actually, the more I've done comedy, the more I respect musicians. But I'm like, I could never do that.
But that's why I'm hyper. Like, I like to move around. I like the rock and roll part. So I'm doing all that without the actual song.
Without the actual
without the actual talent.
Without the musical talent to do it.
I'm trying to be really funny without actually any real talent.
I want to be a musician, but I'm a bad musician, so I put jokes in there.
Yeah. But like comedy's got good jazz. It is like good jazz.
For sure.
You know, you have a rhythm going. Yeah. And everybody's got their own jazz. So mine
and there is like an orchestration to it, like in a set, like in a 20-minute set, you're like, I want to take them here, up, here, then down, then up, and then down.
Well, I used to be more like an 8, 9, 10, 8, 9. I realized the value of people listening to me and hearing me, so I brought it down, and I'm way more calmer and using my voice. I mean,
dude, that must burn you out though too. I mean, it's a lot. To keep him at a 10 for an hour. To keep him at a 10 for an hour. That's a fucking lot.
I would lose my voice.
That's what I'm saying, man.
When people said to me, "How are you such high energy on stage?" I was like, "What do you mean how I'm such high energy? I did nothing all day long. I waited 23 hours and 15 minutes just to get here. Yeah, you think I can pick it up for a few minutes?"
I've been on my back for 23 hours.
I masturbated 3 times today.
You're like, I could stand up. I thought my legs were going to atrophy. I was laying down so much.
What'd you do? You woke up at 6 a.m. to go to office? Oh, God. Horrible.
I woke up at 7:30 to make this 8 o'clock spot.
Yeah. Horrible. Yeah. I drove 6 hours to do 6 minutes. at the Laugh Factory in Oakland.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's
But it's a good rhythm. Like you know, people like good music, just like jazz versus rock and roll versus, electric versus, gospel. Like everything's got a rhythm to it. And
Yeah.
every song that doesn't have that cadence or rhythm to it is not a good song.
That's true.
So it's really just about finding your rhythm and your voice. You know?
I actually like watching guys who do something that I could never do.
It'd be
Like
funny.
their style. It's like, oh, it's, yeah. One of them.
I got it.
One of them. But I'm saying, like, just guys like you or a Willie Mack or, like, I'm trying to think of, like, someone who's, like, just so different from me. Like,
I love Willie. I just texted him last night.
love
I saw him
Willie.
in a Subway commercial.
Willie's the best. Yeah, so did I. Fucking guy's killing it. But, like, you just guys who just do it in a completely different way than I do it.
Yeah.
You know?
But I bring Willie. We do shows
Yeah,
together
yeah.
because we're a good. We're a good.
That's what I'm
opposite
saying.
to
I'm
each
talking
other.
about
Yeah.
guys and gals we both. Audrey Stewart. Yeah, a ton of people we both.
I had another good friend, Jay Phillips, very funny guy.
Jay Phillips, very funny, yeah.
He's hilarious. He comes up to me. He did a spot after me one night at one of my shows. He comes up. The first thing he's like, I'm not gonna do any of that shit. And it was just like,
Yeah.
and he already had them. Then he was like killing it because
Yeah.
he's very smooth and
Yeah.
calm, and it's like just a really good.
Yeah.
It works following me. It works before me. It's just different.
That's
as long as they're funny, as long as you have your own act.
And that's also how I grew up on comedy, man. Because you watch like the old HBO Def Jams, have different guys come out. But then when I started going to comedy clubs, I was going to this Comedy Cellar in New York. I was a little kid, fucking 14, 15 years old. Not a little kid, but teenager. And just it was the showcase style. 15, 20 minutes, 5 different acts. I liked the variety. Like as much as I enjoy, because I have seen headliners and it is great. It is fun to definitely go do those kind of shows. But for me, especially my formative years, was like, I just see 5 different guys and gals making me laugh in fucking 5 different ways. It was awesome. It was like open up like a pack of like a baseball cards. Like, ooh, what am I going to get out of this one? It was fun.
It could be diversity of different styles, not just like, one has to be black, one has to be Asian,
no,
one has to be
had nothing to do with race.
right, but now it has to do with that.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Now it's a diversity in 5 different unfunny women.
Which is a shame because there's a lot of funny women out there.
Yeah, there's some, but not on those shows.
There's a ton of funny chicks out there.
Yeah, no, there's some. There's definitely some funny women. But it's just like, and you want the diversity of it. Like I do that for my shows when I produce shows. I try to bring a variety of different comedians because it's hard to book like 3 consecutive white guys nowadays. But everyone's got to be able to handle it, to be funny,
deliver,
and have an act.
Yeah, well, that's why I love guys like Dave Hahn, our buddy. This Asian guy gets on stage and like, you think it's coming, and then he just trashes Asians for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is always funny to me. I don't know, like it's always funny when you think, or Eric Rocha, very funny guy.
Eric who?
Eric Rocha.
I don't know.
He's a door guy at the Comedy Store. Buddy of mine. He's from Colorado, but he looks like an East LA mechanic, but he is definitely gay.
Okay.
But you wouldn't get it from his voice or his look or anything.
You get it when he gives you a hand job. After a really good set.
Just from his act. Because he gets on stage and he talks about how he likes like twinks and
it's not the act that makes me gay. It's the cocksucking.
He doesn't sound like that. Which is the best part.
It's the cocksucking.
Exactly, because people don't believe he's gay until he starts talking about it. And then he talks about how the gay community doesn't accept him because he's not gay.
Not gay enough.
Yeah, he's like peacocking gay. He's like not showy enough gay. It's like, I love I love not knowing what that person's up to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like inform me.
Speaking of gay, why is pride the only one of the 7 deadly sins we have celebrations for? Like, we don't celebrate envy or greed. I'd sign up for Lust Night. It's Lust Night at the Improv. All the sex you can have, plus 25-cent wings.
Dude, Lust Night
Come on
sounds
out
creepy.
And lust.
It sounds creepy.
How about Wrath Week? Where you just kill whoever you want?
The Purge?
Yeah. The only problem with that is I'd totally be murdered.
I'd be down with celebrating sloth.
I was going to say a Sloth and Gluttony Month would be
That'd be
amazing.
great.
You just get fat and disgusting, eat all the delicious food you want.
Yeah,
Just living my truth.
I think we're starting Sloth Week with Thanksgiving.
Right?
Sloth Month. Yeah. Pride.
Right? Isn't it a good
Christmas and Pride Month.
Good joke.
Yeah, instead
Sloth
of Pride,
Month.
Sloth Month. It's between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Sloth Month.
Sloth Month starts on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It ends after Christmas.
Yeah, it ends Christmas Day.
It goes a month and 5 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very American.
No, it'll be less than a month. That's right. You can do it for like almost 3 weeks.
It depends on the calendar, but it's usually a month. Yeah. About a month. So 26.
From Thanksgiving to
26.
Day. That's it. Sloth Month. We start a new thing. Who do we call? Should we call West Hollywood and have them implemented immediately?
I know, right?
What flags can we use? Can we do non-rainbow flags? How about like a flag that's just covered in shit? Like that's our flag. It's just sloth.
It's shit.
It goes barf. It looks like throw up. Like oh, sloth.
It's got corn chunks in it from Thanksgiving.
Oh, how'd that get in there? We didn't even eat corn. It's like the rednecks come. I didn't even eat corn. Holy shit!
Holy shit!
What is that, man?
Oh, man. Oh, I'm glad we brought that full circle.
Yeah, I'll do it. I thought you got a great idea. We're starting Sloth Month.
Oh, yeah, Sloth.
It's the beginning of Sloth Month.
How are you guys celebrating? I'm buying extra stretchy pants.
Yeah. The first kickoff, right when that first kickoff of the NFL game on
exactly.
It kicks off Sloth Month.
It's instead of a big crystal ball coming down for New Year's, it's just a big fucking turkey coming down.
Yeah. Or fried chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes out. And it comes out and it just dips in like ranch sauce.
Yes.
It's a giant chicken finger. It just dips in ranch. And you just go, oh! I think I just shat your pants. Man. Oh, God.
That's great, dude. All right, you want to get into a little news, buddy, before we get out of here?
Yeah, how much time we got? Wait, dude.
We got a little time here. A few minutes.
I just like that we're on to Sloth Month. I'm into it.
Oh, I'm big into it, dude. So I'll start here. You'll like this. Monsunabu Sato is the world champion in masturbation. In 2008, he pleasured himself in front of a crowd at San Francisco's annual Masturbate-a-thon for 9 hours and 33 minutes. He recently beat his own record, extending it to 9 hours and 58 minutes. Sato has strong sponsorships with Tenga, a Japanese company that makes crazy futuristic masturbatory toys. His girlfriend says, quote, she doesn't like sex, but supports him in his ambitions.
That's very ambitious.
So this guy just broke the world record. He just set the world
record for how many times he does it in a day?
No, so he beat off for. So I guess he edged himself for. That it doesn't say here what it counts.
Wait, is it head-to-head competition? Like, what are they doing? Looking into their eyes? I'm gonna get this before you do. I'm gonna think of my ex-wife.
Just tip to tip.
It reminds me of my terrible joke about. I have a joke about the vibrator. He's a vibrator. His ability is to shake. He's like, listen, chop a vibrator. Ah, ah! Right. But a vibrator's got an enemy, and it's got to be a bad guy, like the brains to his brawn, just like Superman has Lex Luthor. And this guy's, I have the ability to make people do my evil deeds. I can bait them to do anything it is I want them to do. Now, there are some below average baiters. There are mediocre baiters. There are even some above average great, and there are some great baiters. But I am the master baiter. Roll the dice and see if you can beat I beat him off. I beat you. I'll beat. All right, I'm fucking. Because I am the
masturbator.
It's a joke that probably I should have done in my first year of comedy, but it got better now in my year 25.
But I guess, judging by that, it doesn't say that he like continuously comes, obviously. So I think it's from like
what's the goal? How do you determine if it's a masturbation session?
Well, the article doesn't get into it because obviously it's a news article and they don't want to talk about it.
They have to be hard for 6 minutes, then it's okay, or you have to shoot a load every time.
I think you have to maintain the erection, and then it ends either when it goes away or you pop one. But 9 hours and 58 minutes.
He had an erection for it?
He was beaten
just
off.
Imagine how pale he is. He's got no blood in his body.
9 hours.
Just like that skeleton. His penis. Oh, God.
Do they check him for PEDs? Do they check him for Viagra? Like, how does that work?
And what about scabs on his hands?
I know. Well, the best part is his girlfriend goes, I don't really enjoy sex, but I support him in his ambitions. Well, I hope you don't like sex if he's beating off all day, not fucking you.
Yeah, what do you need a girlfriend for if you're the world masturbation champion?
Oh, well, they got a fucking... they got a photo. Look, they got a photo of her like watching him beat off, dude.
By the way,
she's like sitting at her desk. She's sitting at her desk doing work.
And by the way, his competition is his girlfriend.
she's. I'll make it easier.
The funniest competition is his girlfriend because she tries to have sex with him. No, I'm using that to masturbate.
There she is, sitting next to him. He's rubbing one out under there. and he's watching porn on TV.
Should I not be surprised that he's Asian? I don't know. Is that a thing?
He's Japanese.
Yeah. They love porn.
No, you shouldn't be surprised because Japan is obviously one of the kinkiest parts of the earth, man.
Are they known to be the kinkiest?
Oh yeah, Japan, Germany, and Florida.
How do you know this?
That's my job, dude.
Germans are, I just love the masturbation. This is what I do every Sunday.
I
all day.
actually heard that about Germany, but then I went to Germany this year for the first time. And sure enough, every fucking bathroom you went in, you think you have a problem with fucking getting tampons in a man's bathroom. They had cock rings, fucking vibrators for your girl, butt plugs for your girl in the men's room.
Every bathroom?
Every bathroom. And every public bathroom. I mean, like, which is like at a restaurant. It's like, hey, if you need a butt plug before you go back, it's like...
Jesus.
Right? I mean, better that than a swastika.
I thought they give you like masturbation said that like the loo, there's a toilet, there's like some Vaseline and some Kleenex.
Oh, no.
And pictures and
no,
like a little porn.
You can full on buy a cock ring and a butt plug in most every German bathroom.
Yeah, well, Europeans, they're definitely dirtier than we are sexually. America's so repressed sexually. That's why Canada's more sexual than the United States. You know,
I believe it.
It's more taboo here. The religion side of America has made it all like...
Yeah. Well, there's our fanatics, right? But that's the thing about our religious fanatics, dude. Our religious fanatics are just fucking funny. Like, well,
if anyone is too religious, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Catholic. I'm a lapsed Catholic. Most Catholics don't believe the literal word the way it's written.
Yeah, I'm Jewish. I think Orthodox Jews are out of their fucking mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I don't see you wearing curly cues and a fucking.
But they're no harm to you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, they're not dangerous.
They're not trying to take you
just
over.
laugh them off. Like, you shouldn't masturbate. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
It's funny. I have an Orthodox friend who's like he wants me to do all the things that he does, and I'm like, not doing the things you're doing, like the black and the beard, and the nine children and stuff. And one day I went to a Hanukkah tree candle lighting, and I said, "Oh, I'm seeing the lighting here. I guess I don't have to do it at home." He's like, "No, Adam, you definitely have to do it at home." I go, "No, Daniel, you have to do it." Because you subscribe to all this. Me and God are good.
Yeah, it's not my bag.
Yeah, if we ever arrived in the kingdom of heaven together at the same time, God would be like, "Hey guys, what's going on? Good to see you guys here. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven. Adam, I got a seat right over there next to me. Go over there. Sit. I'll be in a couple minutes. Before you go, I just got to talk to Daniel over here."
Or even worse, you guys will both be there. It's like, wait, I had to do all this shit and you still here?
Well, that's sort of what it is, because he did that.
The fuck was all this for?
So if you subscribe to one of them, then you have to do all of them.
Yeah.
So if you miss it one day, is God mad at you? So if you don't subscribe to that and say like, I'm just gonna be a good person and not be like, oh, I have to dress like this and just like this and sleep like this and not drink on this day, and then it's like, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Also, how petty is your God that he cares what the fuck
question.
you're wearing? Like,
I've said that.
I think God's more magnanimous than worrying about the goofy shit you wear. Like,
that's exactly
or what you eat on a Tuesday. Like, what the fuck does he care?
That's why that joke is like that. Like, how petty is he? Like, he cares. So you have to do all these things for him. Like, that's a lot. Because if I ever met God, me and him would be like, and he's Adam, you do all these, like, God, let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, me and you are gonna have a conversation of what's acceptable or not.
He's like the most annoying girlfriend of all time. Like, oh, I gotta wear this and they're just like that. Don't eat this. God. Don't eat that. All right, shut up, wife.
Yeah. If I ever get to the kingdom of heaven, God's gonna be like, oh, is that Adam? Okay, everyone hide. Guys, get down. Shh, guys, he's coming.
Well, I've always said I've always thought hell sounds like a more fun place, because that's where all the drugs and hookers are. Like, oh, can you do drugs? Can you do drugs and hookers in heaven?
I'd rather laugh with the sinners than die with the saints.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, my favorite is you go to heaven for the scenery, hell for the company.
Yeah.
Hell sounds. I mean, like I would hope that you can sin in heaven, because then it sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like you get to hang out with your grandparents. Like, yeah, I love my grandparents. But I'm going to want to fuck sooner or later.
Yeah, listen,
I'm going to want to smoke some weed or something.
Maybe my grandparents are in hell too. Like, what's up, Bubby? Zadie, good to see you here. We're going to fucking party. What happened before part B? Part A.
How great would that be? I'm going to hell.
What?
And he goes, oh no, your friends.
Grandma.
Hey, what?
Yeah, all my friends are there too.
And your family. Grandpa, you're not here? Yeah. What fuck you think?
I like
the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
The apple's burning in hell.
Yeah, we're making an apple pie, baby.
It's burnt in hell. That crust is fucking burning.
Oh, listen to this. Speaking of Florida, they're delivering again. I love Florida. Fans are urging Florida governor to appoint Pitbull to fill Marco Rubio's Senate seat.
What?
People are calling for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to appoint rapper Pitbull. Yes, Mr.
Oh, the rapper, not an actual Pitbull.
No. Florida could be either one, right? To the U.S. Senate.
That job is rough.
The unconventional suggestion emerged after former President Donald Trump announced he selected Florida Governor Marco Rubio to be his Secretary of State. While names like Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez and Attorney General Ashley Moody are circulating, fans and non-fans alike are pushing for the Miami native to be one of Florida's most famous residents and to be their senator. They think he's not interesting because it's only $174,000 a year to be a senator. But I think if I'm Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump's putting on, he's got, 4 or 5 TV personalities on his cabinet?
Yeah.
Fucking put Mr. Worldwide on.
And does he have any political aspirations himself? Or
fuck does he? Who gives a shit?
Florida won the Stanley Cup last year. Maybe they should bring one of the captains of the team.
No, I mean, at this point, who gives a fuck?
I don't like that people.
I don't think the Florida Senator is going to matter.
Well, I also don't assume that what somebody's done previously makes them not.
That is true. That is true.
Of the job.
There's certain roles, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously, I want a doctor to operate on me who's done it before, right?
Well, someone was making fun of Pete Hegseth because he was named. He was the what was his job? Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of Defense.
And they go because he's just a Fox host. He's a Fox host because he's a retired Army Ranger or Army like a.
He was a major in the Army.
Yeah. He was a 5. He won
2 Silver Stars.
Two Silver Star, Bronze Star. He was also Harvard educated, Harvard Masters, and Princeton educated. So like the guy's completely capable.
I mean, these are people talking shit who elected Arnold Schwarzenegger governor of California. It's like he was never.
No, and Reagan was an actor before, so it doesn't matter.
Everyone did something before. Nobody's
like 10 years old and a politician.
Yeah.
He's a child there's child
like Ramsey's the king.
There's child comedians. There's no child politicians,
Yeah,
he's a 15-year-old.
Yeah, it's his first job. He's an intern. Yeah. No. I mean,
he's a phenom.
Yeah. I will say the Matt Gaetz pick, and since then he's pulled his name. That one was a little weird because he hasn't been a prosecutor before.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you not think that was a move?
Oh yeah, of course it was a move.
To move to like that they weren't going to accept him, to move him out of the way so this girl could slide in.
Oh yeah, no.
Because she is way more.
No. It was.
Than he is.
I was assured it was a move once Matt Gaetz resigned. Because that ended the ethics investigation. So they were like, hey, I bet they were sitting there. It's like, hey man, I got to get out of Congress.
And you know what?
Really support.
I don't mind.
Hey, how about I nominate you for AG and you just stay there for a week while I get the rest of this shit through.
And then they were already ripping on him. Yeah. She comes in and she's very qualified. Yeah. So I like that.
That's what I say about Donald Trump. He's stupid like a fox. Yeah. He knows.
Also, Matt Gaetz will end up landing on his feet, and I don't mind him.
He'll be fine.
And you know what? I'd like to have some assholes on our side too.
We got plenty. Yeah. The main one. The guys.
Yeah, he's like a likable asshole. But assholes get shit done,
Yeah, look. Do
you remember the analogy and remember that Team America World Police?
Yeah.
Remember that? Assholes,
yes.
dicks, and cocksuckers?
Yes, yeah, assholes, dicks, and cocksuckers.
Or something like it was assholes, dicks, and pussies. No, assholes, dicks, and pussies. Yeah. And it was just the analogy of that you have to be an asshole. Can I grab another one? It was the that you have to be an asshole. And if assholes didn't fuck dicks would shit all over the pussies. I didn't do it. Look up that scene on the Team America on YouTube. It has the assholes, dicks, pussies because it's a great analogy. They're just doing it as a cartoon, but it was hilarious because that was the point about it.
No,
right?
look. Obviously,
cheers, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on, brother. Oh, it's a pleasure. Yeah, the American government needs a colonic because it's jammed up. Nothing can get done. Would Trump have been my first pick and his cabinet get this done? Probably not. But do I hope he succeeds and we're better off for it? Yeah, because I want the country to be in a better place. And I don't want it to fail.
But you have to have assholes in charge too. You can't be a pussy or else you're gonna die. Obama was sort of a pussy, but Biden was for sure a pussy.
Yeah, and
they took advantage. Why do you think Putin fucking attacked Ukraine?
But here's the thing. I'm also willing to say, we'll see. He's got 4 years. He's obviously got loyalists around him. He's got quote unquote a mandate, whatever the fuck that means that the news keeps saying. I don't know what a mandate means, but I know what it means, but I don't know in this context. I hope he does well, and if it goes poorly, the Republican Party will suffer for it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it works.
OTWT.
If this goes terribly wrong, they'll lose every election for the next 16 years.
OTWT.
And we'll see what happens.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But you know what happened for me?
I'm not going to fucking cry about it.
For me as a foreigner, because I was nervous, because it was uncomfortable. Like, I don't want this city, I don't want this town, I don't want this country to go down the woke path anymore, okay? It doesn't work. It leads to shit, okay? It's merit. I moved to America because I want to live in a merit-based society. Okay, so it's got to be that way. So the woke shit wasn't working, and you definitely I'm hoping for the best, but you got to let the adults back in the room. You know, this wasn't a good move. These weren't, just like I said at the beginning, like they were bad ideas.
Yeah,
and that's what happened in America. I was nervous that is this country really just dominated by the losers who don't want to work and who want to be upset at the winners and the people that are doing stuff. The guy, you know, because I know that's an energy of the United States of America, but it made me feel better that at some point the people stood up for their country, said like, we are America, don't tread on us.
That was it.
Don't tread on us. Don't fuck with us.
But
like,
that was an energy coming from people who were born on third base and didn't realize why they were walking home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
but I want you to defend your country.
If you go to any fucking, you know, if you go to any maintenance, any construction site and ask those crew guys, you know, what do you think about this and this? You'd agree with most of everything what they said. You know, it was literally like a fraction of this, you know, this college educated elite class that was like, oh, you know, this country sucks. As you were dining, you know, at the halls of Princeton, it's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, the fact that you're sitting there, it means this country's great. Shut the fuck up. Like, they didn't know how good they had it.
You're in a school that's $80,000 a year to go to. You don't think you're privileged? It's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
That I know. The one thing I didn't know was how much they were being influenced by foreign entities.
I heard that
I wasn't
too.
aware of that.
I didn't know.
I knew it was bad.
I didn't know the Qatari
bad.
government and a bunch of them were funding
and stuff like that. That's what Trump's going to do something about, and he absolutely should do something about that. There should be some pride in this country, and if you don't like it, literally go live elsewhere. Go elsewhere. If you don't live, because this is America's got problems, but this is literally the best country in the world to live in.
That was the last article I wanted to bring you on. This is perfect that we're talking about that because I saved this one just for you when I saw it. I knew it would get your goat. As usual, you know, the liberals are now worried about running away. You know, I don't know if you've heard, but Ellen DeGeneres has moved to the UK.
Yeah, good luck with that. Also, what an asshole she is. How privileged is she and not proud of what she's done? She's like a bear. She's done so much. America's given her so much, so she can't handle it. It's not enough for her. She had a talk show from being a very mediocre comedian to like a very successful talk show.
But she's also a bad person. You've heard the stories about how mean she is.
And I know it's firsthand how mean she is by people who know her. So she's like,
Listen to this. So an Italian village is offering $1 homes to Americans upset with the election results. This is actually smart on their part. A village in Sardinia, Italy, is offering homes starting at $1.06 to Americans seeking a fresh start after President-elect Trump's reelection. Oliolai, nestled in Sardinia's picturesque landscape, aims to attract residents with a promise of a balanced lifestyle. Village officials are prioritizing Americans with a fast-track buying process, citing them the winning card to reviving. So this town is dying. With around 100 unoccupied homes available, prices range from $1 to $100,000 at most. Digital nomads may even qualify for free temporary housing.
Do they advertise this? Hey, come to Sardinia. Come on. We give you $1 houses, but the only thing is, late at night, we ass rape you. It's going to be great. That's what we do in Sardinia.
No, this is my favorite part. This is Sardinia, Italy. I mean, Sardinia is, you know, a legitimate place, a fucking legitimate village. But the village is already dead. They have 100 unoccupied homes.
Clearly.
Let's check back in 6 months and see how many of those homes are sold.
Right.
And then you'll see how full of shit these people are. I'm going to leave America. Even for a $1 home in Sardinia on the Italian coast, you know, on an Italian island, you're not going to go there. That's how much better you know it is here.
Yeah.
You know, like those homes aren't going to be filled.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, look, and also, what the fuck? I'm going to take my ball and go home. You fucking baby. Like, you know, it's like, why don't you stay here and like fight for the America that you want to envision? Like,
well, that's what I don't. That's
I'm going to take my little ball and get out of here.
I didn't know all these people were so hateful of their own country, and that's it. That's why it's also a lot of.
I don't think it's as big as you think.
But there's a lot of young girls too.
That's what I'm saying.
I was very surprised at how many
young people.
But this election proved that a lot of like the young kids, the young boys that have been told that they're bad, told that straight boys suck, told that white boys suck, you're awful, and we should just celebrate everyone who's brown and a lesbian. Like it adds up. So I really believe that energy that you
that
push.
is one of my biggest.
Well, you've been pushing that for a decade plus, and now all of a sudden they were like, "Here's my voice. You want my voice? My voice is let's make America great again."
Yeah,
you know,
well,
that's what I want.
You keep hearing toxic masculinity as a young boy.
What toxic people? Period. Forget.
No, of course, but I'm saying, human beings.
Toxic masculinity wins wars and builds buildings.
No, I mean,
and
people,
saves lives.
But also, your first point is true. People are shit. We're humans.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
well, let's bring back more masculinity, not toxic.
No, but that's the problem. Like the fact that little boys, that then little boys 10 years ago when Donald Trump first came on the scene, that are now voting age, have been just told that, oh, you're an oppressor, you're bad because you were born, this, that, and this. Being a man is wrong. Male impulses are wrong.
And but Randy, those are lies.
I know.
But
how shameful? How shameful?
Exactly.
To treat little boys like that.
And who's saying that to them?
Yeah, like what? Like,
not my family.
No,
our kids.
no,
like, we don't do that to our family.
No.
Like Jews don't tell each other, that young Jewish kids, that they're nothing and they grew up nothing. And I don't think.
Yeah, it's your fault, 9-year-old Randy, that
by the way,
black people can't.
I want to know, since
I didn't do that.
Since I mentioned the Jewish thing a couple times, I want you to know that I don't feel that way. And it's not just Jewish people are like this. I can rest assured that 90% of Jewish people will be a certain way. But I have tons of friends like you, like my friend from the South, like my Asian friend, like my black friend, who come from families that have the same values. Yeah, only one.
You got to fill a quota.
But you know what I mean? It's like they have those values. Yeah. It's not, but what
that's
I'm
my
saying
point.
Is you can be from this. So that's an American value. It's Judeo-Christian values.
It's a Western value.
Right. This country was founded on. Like, I don't have kids, but I'm still kind of family oriented. I still believe all my sisters and cousins have kids. I'm the only one without, so I have a huge family. So I do believe in the mother, father raising kids to become something, contribute to society thing. I think that's super important.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just believe in civilization.
Absolutely.
I mean, like that's for civilization to exist, you have to have society, you have to have cohesion, and you can't just demonize half the fucking population saying, "Oh, you're a man, you're toxic."
Right.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
But you hear what I said?
Like I was on your
people. There's not toxic femininity.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Come on. There's toxic people. Also, we don't all get along. You're not going to get along with somebody just because they're your same thing.
Yeah.
Not just because they're like a Puerto Rican guy from New York and they're your age doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be buddies with that person.
Yeah.
Just like I grew up in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood, I hated half the fucking people. So that's another thing.
I wish Hamas had taken them.
Well, I think we all think the same because we're certain things. Like when a lot of people use that.
Well, that's what really blew the left off their position was it identified for them that identity politics is dead. Because Trump gained in every demographic except for whites where he lost 1%.
Yeah.
Literally, he gained in every young people, old people.
The oppressor
he won the Latin male. Yeah, so it's like, wait, what?
All of a sudden,
how can Latins vote for this guy? Because they don't believe in
when
you.
you're successful and done well for you, you're now oppressing everybody else below you. It's just garbage. You know what I mean? It's garbage.
Yeah, the oppressor versus oppressed thing's got to go.
It's really got to go.
It's got to go.
Yeah,
it's over, dude. It's been fun, my man.
Absolutely, man. Super fun.
I know we went a little long. Sorry, Mikey, but we got on. He gets on a little soapbox.
I got a lot to say.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty angry. I'm like a likable angry. Like I'm like an angry asshole, but like you got
who can sing.
Yeah, like I'm happy, but I'm
a little
angry,
ditty. Where can people find you, Adam?
My website, Adam Richmond Comedy. Check me out there. Adam Richmond Comedy is my Instagram. Mostly I'm concentrating on my military tours. I don't even want to promote that because it's just sort of like
because you're not allowed, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, you're allowed, but unless you're serving, you're not allowed.
No, it's kind of what I'm concentrating on. Just doing my own private shows. I'm just exhausted with the same.
I gotta get on one of those
clubs. Absolutely,
thinking
about you for sure. Well, you fit boxes, man. You're my friend first of all. You're funny, and he's got the Puerto Rican thing.
Dominican. Don't go. Oh, come
Dominican.
On.
Wait, did I say Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
I mean, that's how you. That's
Wait,
how you know.
Are you?
I'm Dominican. But that's how you know. That's how you know other people are racist besides white people. When
Sorry, it's one of those islands. Iceberg, Goldberg, what's the difference?
All right, guys, you can follow me at Randy Valero. Follow the podcast at Ready Zip Low. That's it for this week. We love you. Please, happy
holidays,
Thanksgiving.
guys.
Yeah, take care, guys.